Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're excited to have you with us. And as you know, we're approaching Rosh Hashanah. Officially, we're still in the month of Elul and leading up to the month in which Rosh Hashanah occurs, which is Tishrei. We blow the shofar every single day. We don't blow the shofar on Shabbos itself. And so since Shabbos hasn't started yet, we'll be blowing the shofar right now. We're grateful to Gadiel's being here and blowing shofar. It's one tekiah. It's not a full shofar service. We wait until Rosh Hashanah for the full shofar service. Tekiah. Shkoyach, Gadiel. And now we'll light candles, and perhaps you'll be joining us lighting candles at home. We'll be making Kiddush and Amotzi near the end of the service. And then we'll start our service in just a moment. Although it's daylight hours, of course, still a change comes over our homes, our spaces, when we bring light into the place where we are. And it's to remind us of how God transformed chaos into a universe of beauty and order. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'adinei shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Lord our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made us holy with the commandments of bringing light of Shabbat into the world. The shofar has been sounded. Our ears and our minds are becoming primed for Rosh Hashanah. We lit the candles. Shabbat is approaching. And we greet the angels with Shalom Aleichem. If you have a Siddur on page 5. Otherwise, it's fairly simple. Just join on in. Shalom Aleichem Malachei HaSharet Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now L'chuna Ranana on page 11. It means, come on, let's sing. L'chuna ranena, l'chuna ranena, l'chuna ranena, l'Adonai. L'chuna ranena, l'chuna ranena, l'chuna ranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, l'tzur yishenu, nekadma fana b'todah. Naria, naria, l'tzur yishenu, bizmira naria lo. lechoneranena, 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 ladonai, lechoneranena, 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 ladonai. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, bizmira naria lo. Lechoneranena, 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 ladonai. Lechoneranena, 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 ladonai. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us all together greet God, raising our voices in song. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth's deeps. Mountain crests too are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands. The poetry teaches us to look at the world as created so that you and I can enjoy every aspect of the world created by God's own hand. And I'm going to stop for a moment. There's a lot on my mind, and you and I are looking at the news, and we're seeing the devastation in Louisiana and in other locations. And I wish to offer a thought. We're familiar with the Adon Olam. And when I was growing up as a child, we knew that the kids sang the Adon Olam because the Hebrew is very easy. But there's a phrase in the Adon Olam which is a very adult phrase, Biado avkid ruchi be'et ishan va'ira. In God's hand, I place my spirit, my soul, and it's safe, and it's secure, and I have a sense of trust, and I won't be afraid. We need to express our hope and our faith that we are loved by God, and all of the people in the world are in God's own hand, God's hand for protection and for safety. So in a moment we have a song, a melody by a group known as Shirav Biado. In God's hand I place myself with trust. And I want us to see ourselves as holding hands with people whom we'll never meet and expressing our support and our reassurance and our comfort. Biado.
Ve'im ruchi your soul to keep in the shelter of God's wings. May you always be a blessing. May the angels guard your nights. May you wake in radiant light. May you shine as stars above. May you always know
Biado, see ourselves as in God's hand, and see ourselves when we extend our hands to those near us and distant, as reaching forward to other people along with God's hand in our own. Continuing on page 16, those who love Adonai hate evil, wickedness, and all bad. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people. The Siddur is confident that you are righteous. By the fact that you extend yourself to others and that you hold on to your own connections to God, each one of us in a private way. Those are the definitions of righteousness. On page 21, prior to L'Charudi, page 21, prior to L'Charudi, Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai Bnei Elim, Havul Adonai Kavod Vos, Havul Adonai Kavod Shemon, Hishtachavul Adonai Bahadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai al Hamoyim El Kavod Hirim Adonai al Maim Rabim, Kol Adonai Ba'koach, Kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai Etar Zehalvanon, Vayarkidem Kmo Egel Lebanon Vesiryon, Kmo Venreimim, Kol Adonai Chotze Lavotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechol Elayolot, Vayechasof Ya'arot, Uvehechalot Kolo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lamabul Yoshav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Li'amo Yitein, Adonai Yevarech et Amo Vashalom. And just prior to L'Charudi, a reminder that we're all singing together. And the song Hine Matov reminds us that we are together as a group. Our voices are singing, and our thoughts and our minds and our focus are all collective. Hine Matov, how it is for all of us to be together, to share in our experiences.
Shever Umanayim, umanayim, sheberachim, sheberachim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, umanayim, sheberachim, sheberachim, gam yachad.
The song that binds us tonight, L'chadodi, beginning on page 23, the first two stanzas, page 25, the last two stanzas. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmiyanu el am yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem ol tiferet v'litila. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'krat Shabbat l'chu v'necha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sov ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu small, tifrotzi, v'et Adonai ta'aritzi, al yadish ven partzi, v'nesmecha v'nagila. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Bo'e v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzohala, toch emonei am sgula, bo'e chala. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi l'krat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. And as we're seated, we turn to the Psalm for Shabbat on page number 27. This is unfamiliar to you. You might say, I did not know that Shabbos had its own psalm. Every day has its own psalm. And it may be that as far back as 3,000 years ago, these 7 psalms have always been recited. There's the Monday psalm, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, Friday. Well, the Shabbat psalm is said Friday night, which is right now, and then, of course, tomorrow morning. And then Sunday morning, there's a psalm. Every single week, whether in individual private prayer or in group minyan prayer. So the words themselves are a way of standing fast on the days of the week. And some of us lately during COVID have kind of forgotten which day it is, because all the days are the same. The Psalms remind us, don't forget the day of the week. And look at this Psalm for Shabbat. First, it's good to thank you, Adonai. It's good to sing to your name, Most High, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, remembering day and night. Finger the lute, pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up, let us all listen to music. You gladdened me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork, meaning that I, God, are part of your own creation, and I rejoice over being part of your creation. How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs. The arrogant do not understand. The fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms, only be destroyed forever, because they don't have a clue. But you, O God, you, the purity of all, of goodness, and of love and creativity, will always be exalted for all time. Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered. As a wild bull raises up its horn, you raised my head high, anointed it with fresh oil. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear. The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. The righteous flourish in our God's courtyards. In old age, the righteous remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming, Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no flaw. Oh, the righteous flourish in our God's courtyards, which means the righteous people are established. And where we are in our lives, each one of us, is an opportunity to bring holiness into the world. This song is from Craig Taubman. It's entitled Holy Ground. Holy ground, see yourself as being part of the universe and adding sanctity to the physical world. Holy ground.
Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, every way, where you walk, where you stand, where you love, where you praise, all of life is holy ground. Every he, every she, every what, every who, it's in her, it's in them, it's in me, it's in you. In the bitter, in the sweet, in the calm, in the storm, all of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. When you hurt, when you heal, when you laugh, when you pray, when you hold, when you keep, when you give it away, every second, every minute, every hour, every day, all of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. We take our shoes off, we're on holy ground. We are one people, every second, every minute, every hour, every day. Everything, everyone, every place, every way. Where you walk, where you stand, where you love, where you praise. All of life is holy ground. Can you feel the holy ground? Take your shoes off. You're on holy ground.
We rise the Borchu on page 39b, greeting Shabbat with Borchu, page 39b. Baruch hu et Adonai Amavorach. Baruch Adonai Amavorach L'olam Voed. We are seated. Page 39b, the English. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, you completed your work of creation on the seventh day, calling this day, from one evening to the next, the holy Shabbat, and gave this day of rest in all its holiness to your people Israel. Creator of day and night, rolling light before darkness and darkness from light, making day pass and bringing on the evening, distinguishing day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, living and ever-present God, making day. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. Adonai Tzvaot Shmo, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimachol Elam Voed, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. And on page 40 in the English side, with timeless love you have loved your people, the house of Israel. You have taught us Torah and mitzvot, statutes and laws. Therefore, Adonai, our God, as we lie down and as we rise up, we shall speak of your laws, rejoicing in the words of your Torah and in your mitzvot forever and ever. For they are our life and the fullness of our days, and on them we shall meditate day and night. Do not ever withdraw your love from us. Baruch atah Adonai, who loves the people of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 41, Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'afta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha b'hayo hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shitecha b'veitecha u'v'lektecha v'derech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kishartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'sharecha. Moment of silence on page 42. Adonai Elohechem emet. And now Mi Chamocha on page 44. Umalchuto baratzon kiblu alehem Moshe u'Miriam u'Bnei Yisrael l'chanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam michamocha po'elim Adonai mikamocha nedar b'kodesh Tilot Osefele Malchutecha Ra'uvanecha Bokeh Yam Lifnei Moshe Zeli Anuv Yamro Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed V'ne'emor Kifa Adonai et Yaakov U'galom Yad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Hashkivenu on page 45 reminds us that we as Jews do not see ourselves as solitary individuals, but we define ourselves as members of a constituency, a community, the people of Israel. And we extend ourselves also beyond our own system, which is the people of Israel, into the entire world. And so when we seek reassurance and calm, and most importantly, peace, we include everyone in that prayer, in that mindset. Page 45. Hashkivenu, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel. And save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shlom aleinu, v'al kol mo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. The top of page 46. V'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam oti le'olam V'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz v'shamro v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamro v'nei Yisrael et et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבו, אמן. במוצרי בחייכון וביום אחד ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב במהרה, אמן. יהי שמי רבו מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעולם כל ברכה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעולמה במהרה, amen. Prior to rising, please look at page 51. 51, and you'll see a caption above a paragraph, you might call it, the seventh bracha is a prayer for peace. We know the number 7 is significant in Jewish life. All of Shabbat, our entire cycle of awareness is based upon the number 7. The 7th day of the week is supposed to be a grand messenger of and reminder of peace. And so on this 7th day, within your silent prayer, perhaps the traditional text, or perhaps a prayer of your own devising, also incorporate this little blessing and call out for a prayer for peace on this 7th day. We remain standing for a few moments of silent prayer. We are witnesses to great devastation and great sorrow when we're looking at what we might say a reenactment of Hurricane Katrina just next door in Louisiana. But what we're not seeing enough of is the support and the camaraderie, the friendship, and the neighbors all coming forward to lift each other up, to share food and water and gasoline and access to generators, loaning people cell phones. That's not making as much of the local and national news as all the great sorrow and despair. For some reason, misery gains more airtime than friendship, resolve, uplift, power, and strength. And from what I've heard from a number of people with whom I've spoken over the past few days who are familiar with, or visiting, or even taking supplies over, is that in a number of areas and neighborhoods and locales, there's a strong sense of we are in this together. We are working, and we are going to build our lives once again, and we're going to support one another as we come to these very difficult and dark times. We're all in this together. And it's striking to me because, of course, we all have memories of the devastation of Katrina, and many of us have lived through hurricanes where we've lost power and convenience and energy and comfort and water and food. And we've all relied on people coming to our aid. We've relied on other people extending a hand. So when I learn of these messages of we are all in this together during a time of great social uproar, it heartens me. And it strikes me that many months, these past months, we've been looking at the devastation inflicted by COVID, but we're also talking about, as we all know, social divisiveness and discord. And in an experience of great crisis, we have people who are coming together. This Shabbos has a name to it, a name taken from the very first word in tomorrow's Torah reading. It's Atem, which means all of y'all. Moses speaks to the people of Israel and he says, all of y'all are in this together. And what he's saying to the people of Israel when he's talking to all of y'all are in this together is that I know that I'm leaving soon. And they've been walking with him for 40 years, wandering in the wilderness, and they know that he's going to die soon. And the sense of despair and the sense of unease and the sense of, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Moses has led us for over 40 years and he's going to die. How are we going to make it? Must be present in their minds. And Moses says, guess what, folks? All of you are in this together. And then he lists, and he says, adult men, adult women, young children, older children, babies, adults, elderly, people of all different backgrounds. And then he says skill levels, even those who chop wood and those who draw water, those who carry burdens, all of you are in this together. And that begins the conclusion of Moses' farewell address after 40 years of leading the people. And it has amazing parallels to what we're seeing next door in Louisiana and in other locations every time people come in together. And they say, we are going to stand by one another. And we are going to dispel what we had been experiencing, social divisiveness and social discord, because we recognize the holiness and the beauty of all life. We as Jews have a vested message to share with the world, to look out into the world and say, we believe in the love of and for all people, of all humanity. And in our own little synagogue, Ahavas Chesed, I'm very grateful to Deborah Gert, our shul president, who's initiated a little gift of kindness, friendship, and love. And on Sunday, every in-town shul member will be receiving a gift of apples and honey and challah. And Barry Buckstein has done a tremendous amount of work with this project. And he and Deborah have organized volunteers who will be driving all over because we're all in this together. In a time when we are supposed to be in synagogue, getting ready for and celebrating Rosh Hashanah together, marking a brand new year of celebration and of hope, and we have withdrawn because of the need to be careful and safe, when we might see ourselves as being somewhat fragmenting, this little project of Deborah's and Barry's, this project initiated by volunteers who are members of the shul and who see all the members of the shul as one large family and carried forth by volunteer drivers, reminds us that we're all in this together. We're going to build a new year. We're going to build a year of kindness and of sweetness and of hope, in spite of the opportunities to look down. Just like this week's Parsha, Atem Nitzavim, all of y'all are gathered together, and when we gather together, we become stronger as a function of love, of unconditional support, of friendship, of camaraderie, of being one. May we all recognize how much we can give and how much we gain. Shabbat Shalom. We'll be making Kiddush in just a minute. So if you have a glass of wine or grape juice, feel free to join us making Kiddush. And the Kiddush, if you have a Siddur, is found here on page 55. Page 55. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei parei hagofen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kitshana b'mitzvotav ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uv'ratzon in chilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh haShabbat. We'll be making the Mourner's Kaddish following the Aleinu. The Aleinu is on page number 56, and then we'll do Hamotzi, and we have that little question that we're doing as we anticipate Rosh Hashanah. For now, the Aleinu is on page number 56. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kugoye haratzot ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אמת מלכנו וזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום ושבת אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. And now in a moment, the Mourner's Kaddish, found on page 58 in the Siddur. On this Shabbat, we remember with great love Rosa Miller, Ida Grace Parkman, Miriam Tobin, Joseph Olensky, Louise Goldrich, Nancy Howell, Bessie Friedlander, Kayla Leah Grotsky Yablonsky, Abe Sussman, Marilyn Schwartz, Tina D. Solomon, Joe Kramer, Holden Kramer, Roger Bloom, James Ward. If you know of someone else, please feel free to mention that person's name aloud in your own home. And there's been a great deal of sorrow and loss recently, and we call forth all of our prayers to be united. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Amen. Be'olma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chaye chonu v'yomei chonu v'chaye t'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv imiru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach la'alam ol olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha b'richu la'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'olma v'imiru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imiru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imiru. Amen. Our prayers go out from our hearts to everyone's heart for comfort and for solace. Pardon me, a few quick announcements, and we are nearly concluded. Reminders, of course, tomorrow morning, services from 10 to about 11:15 or so. Tomorrow evening, Zoom Havdalah. And again, Sunday, look for brown paper bag with handles. It'll be on your front porch Sunday morning, and it's a gift from the shul. And we are grateful to the sisterhood and the men's club for underwriting this gift to our shul members. Monday is Labor Day. The office is closed. It's also Erev Rosh Hashanah. No Tanakh because I'm a little bit tumult. That's Monday. And Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday evening services are at 7 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday services start at 10 a.m. We're excited about bringing our high holiday cantor, Dr. Howard Horowitz, back in and joining us, and we appreciate Gadiel's help with arranging all the connections. And we'll have chauffeur service, of course. And that's Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday is story time for kids on Zoom. And I think that's it for right now. Reminders, if you've not yet ordered a lulav, we need to order a lulav, folks. We need to take hold of something alive and something vibrant, something vital. A Jewish tree. We can't get together, but you can bring a Jewish tree into your own home. So please contact me, text me, call me, email me. It's $35 per lulav. If that poses a hardship, contact me privately, and we'll figure something out. But as many people as possible who want a lulav, which is one of the oldest ceremonies we have in Jewish life, goes back to the time of Joshua, please join in. We need to identify and show who we are this season. We're going to conclude with...
Also, if you want to schedule an appointment in the sukkah,
thank you.
Please call and do so now.
Yes.
And we're allowing families to be in there and eat inside and do whatever you like within reason, in the sukkah. And we're just asking that you realize that we need to kind of space out the time in between because of the present situation.
Thank you, Gadiel.
And
Appreciate it.
stick around, because we're going to have the question and answer for this week right after we're finished.
After Hamotzi, we have to do a Hamotzi right now. David, Hamotzi. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, homotzi lehem min haaretz.
Amen. A concluding song tonight. This captured my attention when I first heard it. It's a bat mitzvah student, or shortly thereafter, and she has just a very simple voice, but I think it's a beautiful voice. And she's singing Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah is just around the corner, hours away. And the well-known prayer song is, who will live and who will die in the coming year? And what shall be written, what shall be sealed? Who will prosper and who will not? Who will lift up and who will stumble? Who will weaken and who will strengthen? And that's what I'm thinking about. Who will strengthen? Who will lift up? We have opportunities this year to write our own destiny. Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah,
Gadiel has a question that's come in, and so the question is,
We have two questions about our topic last week, which was mikveh. And Shoshana asked, why do we do mikveh?
mikveh is the original Hebrew word. It's found in the Torah. People now slur it and call it mikvah. Mikveh is a body of water, and on various occasions, people might go to the mikveh, and the sense is that we're becoming one with the universe. Remember, water and life and creation all go hand in hand at the beginning of Torah. So that's what's going on with mikveh. It's a way of becoming reunited and reunited and unified all at once.
Okay, Barry asks, we are in Mobile, Alabama. Where do we do a mikveh?
Well, there is no mikveh in Mobile, and so if weather permits and if you feel comfortable, the bay is good, and the Gulf is good, and any river or stream is good. Lake would be good. It has to be free-flowing, natural bodies of water. Swimming pools do not count. Sorry, I don't make the rules, at least not in terms of mikveh. So any body of water that you feel safe, and you got to make sure, especially in this area, that there are no gators nearby or snakes.
I also recommend, if you are so inclined, to go down to Dauphin Island, because at this point in time they have bioluminescent bacteria. So you can have a bioluminescent mikveh, and I can guarantee you it's going to be one of the greatest experiences of your life. If you need a place to go on Dauphin Island, my friend owns the restaurant at the golf course, and I'll talk to him and he'll gladly let you on the beach. Next week's question: what are the traditions we should be following for Yom Kippur? And please feel free to comment in the chat room now or leave it in the comment below when it posts.
Shabbat Shalom.